The Talk Shows family, Snoops here at Ngozi Talk Shows, Find Your Own Voice, Lead From Within. I'm really, really sorry, guys. Today I didn't put up a topic um, in advance because I was really busy. Something happened. I'm not going to talk about it, but something happened this morning. And there's this guy that I've been talking to. He conducted me and stuff. So I thought, okay. And then it turns out that um, this guy is, you know what? Please don't let your children go online. If you have a choice, if you can take your children offline on social media, please do, because I suspected this guy and I reported him to the police, and it turns out that I was right. So make sure that whatever you do with children, you don't need to be social media, social media. So like it. And so back to the topic. So the topic today is all about crafting an authentic image, embracing your family values, impact. Why is it important to actually create um, um, self-image, authentic image? It's very, 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 very important. So I'm going to tell you guys about my story. For me, growing up as a child, I was raised with a profound belief in truth. I'm not making things up or trying to create some sob story, but that's how my family, my parents raised me. The authenticity, uh, how it was really, really important to actually make sure that when you grow up as a person, you actually be the person that God created you to become. And also, my grandparents as well, they helped me to do that. And prioritize my family values and taking charge of my destiny. That is important. And also, the reason why I'm sharing you this is because sometimes we have this, we grow up in this, some people, we grow up in different, um, we come from a different background. And when we come from a different background and value our family values and everything, we know exactly what we are and we know what we want when it comes to life. But when it comes to us putting ourselves out there, people end up forgetting who they really are. They live that fake life. So it's very, very important to actually understand your values, uh, understand true authenticity, how important it is to be authentic. And when you understand to be authentic, whatever you do in life, uh, that can help you to actually create that life that you want, whether is it in relationship, whether is it business, whether is it your career, is important. I always say to my friends, I'd rather have two friends or one friend that really love me for me, that accept me for me, than to have friends knowing that these people, they have no interest in me. Some people, they hang out with people because of what they have. Sometimes they hang out because of the title. And it's very, very important to make sure that whatever you do in life, it aligns your inner world, it aligns with your outer world. It's very, very important. And by doing that, uh, by doing that, it will help you to actually be in the right job. It will help you to date the right person. It will help you to hang out with the right people. And it will, most of all, it will help you to dance your dance, sing your own song. So those are the things that are really, really, really close to life. Some people don't really worry about their outer. Most people, they more worry about their outer world, how they look. They will do anything. If you ask any woman, they will tell you, I spend thousands and thousands of pounds for making sure that I look. But then you ask, how much do you spend on your inner world? Nothing. So it's very, very important, guys, when you look after yourself or your inner world, to make sure that you look after your outer, your inner, because that is very, very to make sure I spend time, uh, have a coach, personal coach, whether it's a relationship, whether it's business, whatever that might be. There are business coaches that they cover everything. Because when it comes to life, the whole foundation of everything, like life coaching, when we talk about life, relationship, if I have a good business, like if I'm making money, rich, like wealthy, uh, and not having a good relationship or miserable at home, I wouldn't be able to enjoy that money. So the reason why you will make sure that everything aligns with everything in our world and after is because you want to enjoy your life. You want to you want to live how God created you to be as a man, as a woman. So that is very, very important. But there are some people that they will do anything to make sure that they are looking good on the outside. And the body outside is good, and then the inside is not good. And when you do that, actually, when you um, for me personally, I believe in the beauty of authenticity. I believe it, and I encourage everyone. If you listen to all my videos, I always encourage my audience to walk their unique path and to also dance their own rhythm of music and compose your own music. When you compose your own music, it's like, what kind of music do you hear? What do you hear? Like, let's say when you listen to the rhythm of life, life tells you, like, let's say I'm in Oxfordshire today, and tomorrow the life calls me to go to London. What kind of music is playing for me that is actually harmonizing me to get to London? So that is very, very important. And so you have to harmonize your own journey. You have to listen to the whole rhythm of life. It's very, very important. Being authentic, it means it does not mean that being authentic, by the way, guys, it does not, you don't become popular by being authentic. Honestly, there people will call you so much names. Oh, this one, she's weird. She's this. She's always happy. I think she's, or he is on drugs. Or he is so weird. They'll call you so many things. But the good thing is when you are happy within and everything aligns with your inner world, and it does not matter what people say to you about you, as long as you are listening to you. as long you are dancing your own dance. That is very, 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 very important. That is always my encouragement that when you actually are living your life like like rhythm of dance, like in my hair, guys, I'm still thinking of the hairstyle, what to do with hair. I'm not sure. I've had extension um I think more than 3 months now. My hair is all stuck together. I love having extension, but I don't like getting them out. By the moment, I'm still like listening to the rhythm of life, what to do with my hairstyle, what kind of a hairstyle do I need to put my hair. My thing is just come off for my dress. So you're gonna see my boobies because I haven't got anyone to actually put my dress there. That's fine. Yeah. So I'm still thinking hairstyle. I'm trying not to listen to anybody, just to do what's right, what I feel is right. Just listen to them. It's either I shave it or I've not shaved my hair for a time. I love shaving my hair off sometimes just to think. Helps me to think. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do it. So so that is my rhythm of life. Maybe my rhythm of life might be calling me to do that. So you can do what is right as long as you are not hurting anybody. You can do what is right for your life and make sure you be authentic. There are some people that there is a difference between it being horrible and being authentic. So being authentic, it means it comes with the kindness and unapologetic. You still have to save people. You still have to. Uh, you still have to give. You still have to do things that uh, God has called you to do because everybody here has an assignment. For me, for everything that I do, I always ask myself, what is my assignment? What am I? And if I, as long as I get that answer, what is my assignment? And sometimes I ask God, my assignment, why am I here? Ask for His direction, to, to the right path where I need to be. And He will always guide me. And that's why I really strongly believe about the beauty of authenticity. And I always encourage my audience to be authentic and to dance their own dance and to their own rhythm, their own life. Because living authentically is the one of the core of philosophy that my family taught me to live as a way of life. Uh, my dad and my mom and stepdad, so they always encourage me to become something that I always wanted to become. And one of the things that I've learned that if I have to wait for something, I will wait for it. I have this belief that doing something, if if God is delayed my miracle, I have to wait. And it doesn't matter when people talk, because sometimes we worry about people, how they talk or how they you don't when you create your destiny, guys, the truth about creating your destiny is when you actually make a decision and say, you know what, I'm going to create my destiny, I'm going to design my life. Or it's either whether it's your career, whether going back to school and studying. It doesn't matter how old you are. You can still go back to school if you feel like you want to study. And it does not, you do not need a degree to be a millionaire. You don't need a degree if you are a woman who knows what they want, or a man who knows what they want to date an amazing guy or to date an amazing man. Those are the things that you don't need. But there's one thing that you need. Your mindset has to align with what you are looking for. If you are looking for a rich guy, what do you know about a rich guy? Say, okay, you know what? I don't want to date this guy. I like the idea of dating a rich guy. I like the idea of dating a rich woman. I like the idea of going to school and study. I like the idea of becoming the woman or becoming the man that God has always created me to become. But in order to get there, what is it required? It requires you to be extraordinary. Be willing to learn the mindset of a businesswoman. Myself, I run my own business. To understand how I think in order to actually to date me. You got to understand my want and my desires. What would uh, um, somebody, what would a businesswoman want? Would they want a man with a drama? No. They want a man who is going to become their cheerleader, a man who also has dreams in life, a man who knows exactly what they want and they have dreams. No dreams. I'm not saying just dreaming like going to bed and dream. Creating goals. A man that wants to accomplish something. Not just a man that just wants to be a man. That doesn't work. In this world, we live in this world where the life is changing. We have robots, we have everything. So you got to contribute something to the world. And it doesn't have to be something extremely. People always think, oh, wow, for me to date a doctor, I need to be a doctor. No, you don't. Doctor works long hours. They are very educated. So they need somebody that understands them. They need somebody that has some sort of a background of education, somebody that can cheer them up, cheer them. Or some doctors prefer to date other doctors. So the life is is different. So for me, I always encourage everyone that watches my video, be authentic, unapologetic, be authentic. Whatever you want in life, go for what you want. Unapologetic, never ever compare your life with anybody. This is how I was raised by my parents. Never ever compared with your life with other people. And there are people in this world that likes to show off things. They have money. They like to show off. They buy good cars. They think that car is going to get them a beautiful woman. Sometimes it does. For me, if you find somebody like me with my mindset, whatever car you drive to me, it does not matter. Whatever money you have to me, it doesn't matter. What I need is I need to know that your inner world and your outer world is aligned with what you say you are or the desires of life. What do I desire? Life. What kind of a man do I desire? I need a man that loves God. If they do not love God, they let me love God and I'll pray for them. They connect with God. And that's what I need in my life. I do not want somebody to tell me that I cannot pray because prayer to me is everything. In order for me to get up in the morning, I get up because of God. It's given me a second chance, given me another day. So I have to have gratitude. I have to pray. So if a man says, oh, you can't pray, then we have a problem. So you have to just design the life that you want. Whatever you desire in life, you can have it as long willing to be authentic, as long you are willing to learn the skills. There is no such background where it says, you know what, I come from a poor family. There's no such thing as I can't do this because I come from a family I cannot afford to do it. There, you can pray, you can fast for God, you can ask God to locate you with your helpers, locate you with people that can help you and change your life. So you can do all that. Everything that if you go on my social media, guys, everything that I teach is something that I've done to myself. Come from a family where my dad, my dad was a teacher, my stepdad is very rich. Come from a rich family and is very wealthy. But when I wanted to travel, I never ever thought about. All I knew was I had these two parents, my dad and my dad, my two daddies. I had them, and my parents, my grandparents. I knew I wanted to travel. My desires from a very young age. I'll hear people talk, but they'll be showing off. Be listening. Then I was like, my dad come to me and say, no, solution. In life, you can be the woman that you want to be. You can be this woman that God created you to be. But in order to do that, it requires you to follow your dreams. It requires you to do the things that you believe are true about your destiny. Then I'll be like, okay, dad. And I go to my dad, my other dad, saying the same thing. I don't call my stepdad my dad. My stepdad is my dad. I always called him my dad. And he will be preaching me the same thing. You know what? Listen to your parents. You'll be going on about the scriptures, and I'll be like, okay, dad, okay, dad. But and then I'm like, when I got older, I look at my life. When you live in Africa, what you have to do is you graduate, you go to school, you graduate. After graduation, celebrate. When you finish university, you've got to have a man in place to get married to. That's what everybody does. You have a man, and then after you have a man, you get married. And that's it. Get married, you get married, you get a job, buy a house, children. That's the end of it. But nowadays, some people they are becoming more. They travel, they do so many things. People are getting so creative. By my generation, 45, then that was how I saw life. But now people they're just doing so many things. They're getting creative, they're traveling, they go overseas for work. They work for the companies in Africa that takes them overseas and bring them back again to Africa. So they it's more like Europe now. Before, when I was growing up, it was all about look at life, and I was like, okay, dad. So I mean, create my destiny by going to school. And then when I finish going to school, how are you guys? If you want to uh, join into the conversation, guys, please feel free to join into the conversation and how you feel about life. Feel free to join in. So I was like, okay, dad, so do you mean I'm just going to go to school and finish school, then I'll graduate? And after graduation, and then I have to find a man that is going to marry me. And then after finding a man, and then you guys are going to sit down and with these parents, his family, and charge lobola. And after you charging lobola, then I have to go get married. And after getting married, and that would be it. I just have children, and then that would be the end of my life. Then I was like, okay, that's not the life that I want. Not because the life wasn't good, So I had to think about what does Nomsa really desire. My authenticity was like, what do I really desire? I finished primary school. This is not a lie. I finished primary school and I said to my dad, I am not going to secondary school. And he was like, why? And I didn't want to go to secondary school. My parents divorced and he asked me to be authentic. So I was being authentic. I love sports. I love music. And I had contracted people wanting me to sign record deals, sang with my granddad. And I refused to all that. My granddad felt that it was in the right time. So I just wanted to go and live with my mom because my parents are divorced. And I was like, let me go and live with my mom a little bit. Then I would decide what I needed to do. So then I get to my mom, and my mom goes, you going to school? I'm like, no, I'm not going to school, not yet. Okay. She agreed on that one. 1 year later, and I was like, I need to travel. And needing to travel, it means I was reading books, guys, teaching myself how to write and how to do these things. And that was my desire to do it. And I was like, I need to travel. And my parents, they look at me, I'm a baby to them. But in my mindset, I wasn't a baby because of growing up with, when you grow up with parents that they motivate you and they tell you that you can do it, you can do this, even if sometimes you can't do it, guys, you feel like you can. That moment, I feel motivated that I can do this. So it turns out my parents, my my dad and my two daddies agreed with me that yes, Lumsa, you can go, you can try. Mom was so scared, really, really scared. But I had to show her that then I traveled by telling my parents that I wanted to travel, which at the same time because they had to set up my money, my cost of living, and my everything. Got there, they didn't tell me. My dad went to check your thing, and then I realized, okay, I was rich. So I was like, I'm so grateful for you as my father. So I lived, and that was the time where the reality started coming in now. Being on my own and never have to pay bills. I don't pay bills with my family. My family pay the bills. I don't pay bills, but right now, I'm on my own, doing things that adults people do because I had requested to be an adult. And very quickly. So I had to do things about doing in that process. I wanted to play football. So I kept going with my training, approach football team, started playing football till I retired in 2000. And that was for me to be able to do the things that I wanted. I went back to school as well, guys. I went back to school and I educated myself. I went back to school, got the skills that I needed up to my degree level. And it shows that you can actually do the things that you want to do as long you are willing to go for the things that you want to do. Back to school, I studied, I was working at the same time. In the evening, I would go and practice football. Life was good, but harder because when you do those kind of things, it's the life that requires dedication. When you dedicate to something, you got to dedicate to it. And dedicating means when everybody else they're going out dancing, there was no dancing for me. So, but sometimes I'll go out, and that was my life. Sometimes I will just work. Sometimes I'll go out after work, go practice my football. Then after go out at 10 p.m. That was the life that I chose to do. What I chose to do, I chose to be the person that I wanted to be. And some people may not understand and say, no, sir, you don't understand that I come from this background. The excuses are too many. So the excuses are too many. That means when excuses are too many, that means that you have to look at your life and believe. For me, the person that has carried me through is God. I can sit around, even when I was asking my parents to say, I want to travel, it was God that was guiding me through because I've always believed in God. I don't know who introduced me to God, but I had this thing from a very young age that whenever I'm sad, whenever I needed to talk to somebody, I will actually read the book of Psalms. And when I read Psalms, and sometimes the angels will just come to me and just be surrounded by God's angels. So there was this belief that no matter what is going on in my life, I knew I was never. And that is the important thing that about beliefs. If you use your own beliefs, they have to be beliefs that carries you through life. For me, those were the beliefs that carried me through. Even when I said to my parents, I need to go. My mom was like, what now? And I had this belief that I can do this, but it's simply because somebody had planted those beliefs, which was my daddy's. My mom, she'll preach about how as a woman to look after yourself. You see, those boys they should take me out. You see, that one is a player. That one is this. That I'll be like, I'm traumatized. And then I go home. I'll be listening to my dad, how he got married, how he loved it, how if my mom where he was, he wouldn't have married. I'll be like, oh my God, this is sound amazing. And I needed to experience it myself. Doing those things requires an attitude. It requires an attitude, unapologetic. You cannot compare yourself with nobody, even a little bit, like this, the tiny, tiny bit. You cannot compare yourself with anyone. If you really, really desire to be the woman that God created you to become, you cannot. People compare themselves with people. The clothes they wear, they compare themselves. How they speak, their language, they compare themselves with people. The prayers, they compare with themselves. Who prays, who doesn't pray. Everything is comparison. But for me, I believe in dancing my own dance. Rhythm of life. When the music plays, I'm talking about the rhythm of dance. I'm talking about that unique part when you say, okay, I want to walk my own path. That is unique. I want to dance my own rhythm. I want to compose my own life. By composing your own life, it means when things get tough, it gets tough, you know you got this. The only thing you can do is to seek help, somebody to help you. But it don't have people that talk you out of your life, your path, or trying to fit in with other people because you want people to like you. Don't do that. never ever try to fit in with anybody, because at the end of the day, we only have our destiny created by God. God knows our future. But as some of people don't reach to their destination because they listen to other people, they tell themselves as well their negative voices that tells them that you are not good enough. For me, if my mind tells me that I'm not good enough, I have to say, okay, my mind, you're telling me that I'm not good enough. Who is good enough to take this path that is unique? Who is good enough if I am not good enough? Suggest me somebody. Then I silence that negative voice because I know that I am good enough. I know that I can be the person that I want to be as long as I am willing to sacrifice some things. Sacrificing things, it means when other people are going to dance, I'll be reading books. When other people are going to dance out on Friday, I will be going online if I'm single, looking to create my profile so I can find the man of my dreams or the woman of your dreams, or whatever. Find the king to save you, to save. Relationship is all about saving and giving, receiving, saving, receiving, saving, giving. That's what relationship is about. You save somebody, you surrender and you save them authentic, and you receive, they give back. So those are the things that I've learned in life, that you have to be authentic in life. And my character does not require external validation. It's a journey of self-discovery and self-love. It does not require anybody, for me, anybody to validate who I am as a person. Like I took my extension out, guys, and I was like, what do I do? 2 weeks ago, I came across somebody that was selling this hat, and I knew I needed to take my hair out. And when I take my hair out, I'm gonna have to think about the hairstyling. How do I want to style my hair? So I was like, okay, sell me this. When I take my hair out, I'm gonna need it to put this on when I'm deciding which style do I need to put. But definitely plaza, I don't think they will go to my hair. I like the part of plaiting, but I don't like the part of taking the plaits out. So I don't like that. So that is so important. Very, very important to be authentic, to live the life that you desire, that God created you to be. And for me, I've lived my life where sometimes people laugh. It doesn't matter. Where I create goals, people will laugh at my goals. But because it's not them who are creating the goals, I get excited, really, really excited. Like, I'm going to do this. Like, I go for it and I do it and I succeed because I believe that I can do it. So I succeed. So that is the thing that I can tell you guys. If you go to my videos, I just talk about authentic. Even though it's a different subject, I always talk about the importance of being authentic. And for me, the importance of being authentic is I am the example that is lived that life. I've lived my life where I grew up in the village with my dad and my grandparents. My dad was a teacher, and I don't like the city anyway. My mom lives in the city. I'm not a big fan of the city. I love the village. It is where you can grow things and where you can eat fresh food. That's the kind of life. That's my kind of life. my mom. And then when I finished school, I went and lived with my mom for a little bit. And that's the life that I like. I don't like the life in the city, too much competition. But now you go to, if I go to my village now, it's no longer fun anymore because everybody's competing with everybody. They all have children overseas and now they're competing against each other. Where I used to like, sometimes I'll go to my granddad and just sit down and have food, African food, have food and just talk about life. Oh, but now I can't be talking about that. I've got to have a plan what I bring to the table to my grandparents because they are the great children. You see, they bought something even better. So I got to bring something better. But my grandparents don't live like that, by the way. But that is the life that is becoming Africa anymore. It's no longer fun anymore. But I used to like that old African thing where when you say you are in Africa, you are really in Africa doing life. And then when I come to the UK, I just embrace my UK life as well because that's the life that I've chosen. I love it. And so those things that living your life and walking your and dancing your own music is very, very important. Also, surround yourself with the right people. It's very, very important. I I don't seek popularity, and for that one, in order for me to create uh, my way of life, in order for me to create the life that I know that I am not going to be popular with people because people will think that I'm weird because of the character that I am. So it's important to know thyself. When you know yourself, you're not gonna get confused and try to fit in with everybody else. I like reading. I like praying. Sometimes I can spend hours and hours praying with God. Hours. When I mean hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, 7 hours. And spend time. I go to MFM church and spend time like if I go, if we have an overnight prayer, we pray all night. So I hang out with those people that understand what it means to create your own character. Creating your own character, it means you become the person that you want to become in this world by unapologetic, going for the things that you desire in life. So some your friends might be like, so why do I have to go 7 hours in praying? I've got better things to do. And what better things to do you have? They will tell me a list. But when it comes to your inner world and your outer world, the inner world looks so beautiful, but the inside, that person is broken. So for me, I was in that world before where I looked so beautiful. I just get dressed. And when I go out, I'll take 2 hours to get dressed. When I step outside, make sure that I didn't step in the mud. And I make sure that my eyelashes, my fake hair matches everything, my high heels, my handbag. I still look good now, but I don't put makeup in because makeup helped me to hide beautifully. I hide when I wear makeup, I feel good on the outside, but inside I feel so bad because I was broken. So when I actually mend my broken inner world, that's when I was like, makeup, boom, out. Don't want to wear makeup anymore. And you see the beauty of life about making this kind of decision is sometimes we do things and we think that we're doing it for people, but sometimes people don't really take any notice. They can't see the difference whether you have makeup or don't, unless you put the eyeshadows. That's the difference they can see. Sometimes I go out with my spouse and it's like, please stay away from my shirt. And I do not want you to put your makeup on me. That is an insult, man. I am just a woman who is naturally, and you're telling me that I've got makeup on. I'm like, okay. So that makes me feel good inside because creating your life is a beautiful thing to do. I always tell my friends, the friends that I have, guys, I've, oh, how many friends do I have? One, two, three. I'm talking about really, really family friends. Six, I think, eight. These people, I've known them for 20 years, 10 years. The reason why I hang out with these people is because they let me become who I want to become. And I accept them for who they are. I don't try to change people. And for me, in order for people to change, I believe that's why always talk about authentic self. I believe when somebody takes a step to say, I'm going to change this, or instead of if they're being forced to that decision, that means they're not going to change. But if they say, well, I'm going to change it themselves, they make that decision, that means they're changing. And that is the beauty. Made a decision myself to look at myself once, I think it was 2009, 2008. I look at my life. My life wasn't good. I had the life that any woman can dream of. I had everything that I ever wanted. Everything that I have ever prayed to God and say, God, give me this life. I had it. But the inside, broken because I didn't believe in my blessings. I didn't believe that I didn't appreciate what I had. I was miserable. That's the best way to put it there. I was miserable. But when I decided to work on myself, be the woman inside that God wants to become, worked on my inner world. I read books. Then I look at myself. Wow, I call myself a Christian. But what does it mean to be a Christian? I go on social media. I take photos. There's a picture. You see this dress that I'm wearing. There's another gold dress, black, gold and top that I'm wearing. But it shows my boobies everywhere. When I look at that picture, and I was like, why do I have, I was single at the time, and I was like, why do I have to really show my body in order for me to understand that I am beautiful? Why do I have to do that? Do I really have to do that? This is the question. Every person individually is different. You may have different questions that you ask yourself. And for me, when I ask myself, I realize that if I'm going to meet a guy that is going to accept me, that guy is going to have to love me for me, not my oops, not that because I have a nice body. Or no. Of course, it's a bonus that comes with it. It's a gift. You've got to embrace our bodies, but I was embracing it the wrong way. So then I changed when I changed my character. That inner Nomsa that was always there, my inner child crying out to be acknowledged. I had to acknowledge that inner child. When I acknowledge that inner child, I got united by the real me, my authentic me. When I got united by my authentic me, I never look back. When I go out now, I love clothes. That one I cannot deny it. I love wearing nice clothes. But when I go out buying a clothes, it has to be clothes that is not going to annoy me to keep making sure that the boobies are in, the boobies are in, the what. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I look good. Looking good, it means looking good for me and God. It means that it can look at me and not feel ashamed to walk with me. It can look at me and say, I want to hold your hand, not his angel. Keep thinking, you could do better, Nomsa, by covering your boobs so I can actually bless you. Or instead of me chasing my angels away because I'm like Lucifer. Got to speak the truth, guys. Anybody that dresses to show their boobs, they're dressing for Lucifer. We've got to be, whether you're a Christian or you're not a Christian, that is the truth. Before I couldn't understand, I didn't know it. I wouldn't have said it. But now I can say out loud that if you dress for the boobies, for the whole world to see them, or for your body to see the private parts that they shouldn't see, you're dressing for Lucifer. Sharing this with you because I came across with Lucifer when I actually decided to change my life. And he made my life. When I actually decided that I was no longer going to be that person that I was before, I decided to forgive myself. I went through a healing. I came, and he was like, when I came out of darkness, and he was like, he recruited me. He was like, I want you in my kingdom. I was like, what do I need to enter your kingdom? He promised me everything that the world has, a celebrity, you name it. And I was like, no. He tortured me anyway. That's another story. So the reason why I'm sharing this is you have to know when you actually, where you pray your life, where you show the world your life, there are two things. It's either the kingdom of God or the kingdom of Lucifer. The kingdom of Lucifer, there is glamour, there's cleavage, glamour, everything. Maybe when you leave creating for, or like false identity, like you say, I'm this and you're not, that is Lucifer. But with God, guys, whether you haven't got money, you're still a billionaire because your life is worthless. You cannot put a price on it. So that's what I'm trying to say, that you cannot put a price on a human being. It means that even when I'm wearing 10-pound dress, I still feel like, yes, I'm working. God. And I work on myself. It means I understand what's on the inside of me is greater than what's on the outside. So it's very, very important, guys, to understand this world. We live in a world where it's so beautiful. But being beautiful, it means create it the way you want. And also, people might judge you. Who cares? People always judge people. They always have something to say, good or bad. They always have something to say. Always, people always they have something to say. So you live your own life, as long as it's not creepy, live your own life based on what God has created you to become. There are lives where are created by Lucifer, which is fake. He will create a life to torture you, to torment you. And some people will tell you that I can't find the right guy. I cannot find the right woman because I don't believe that there's anyone out there who's going to like me. You know, nowadays women wants a woman, a man who's driving nice cars. Women likes men who has good cars. Men likes women. And you know, the list goes on. People have so much excuses. But you know what, guys? What I'm going to share you guys, a man loves a woman who is authentic. If you are kind at heart, you're authentic, you meet a billionaire. They've never spoken to a beautiful woman who is kind, who asks the right questions. They're like, wow, you're different. Can I take you out? Okay, take me out. And then you go out with that guy. And that's how you get a billionaire. And that's how you get this guy. And then this guy will come in, and this woman comes in. She's dated rich guys, but they're all been nasty to her. And then she meets this man that's ordinary. He hasn't got a Lamborghini, but he's so kind to her. And she'll be like, oh, no one has ever treated me this way. And when you ask her, can we go on a date? She'll be like, yeah, sure, why not? I'd love to get to know you. See, that's how life is. Life is so simple. We complicate life by thinking that life is all about this, that. It's not. It's not. So I'm sharing with you guys for those who think that, you know what, I cannot find the right guy for me. Or if I want to succeed in life, there is no way. It's too late. I can't do anything. I cannot start my business because I'm too old. Not some people they even use like being black, like I cannot do anything because I'm in Europe. No one people are racist. Yes, people are racist. There are some people, not everybody. There are some people who are racist. Let's go to Africa. There's racism in Africa. So what stops you in the UK? What stops you in Europe to succeed? People are racist. Find those who will listen to you. Go for what you want. You want to find that special person in your life. Go for it. Have the character. Character is everything. Image is everything. And I'm talking about character, the real you. Not this one that you go out and when somebody speaks and then you try to fit in with their conversation. I don't do those things. I don't do that. I go out. Me, I'm Nomsa. I meet people, talk to people. Some like me, some don't. That's okay. That's okay. Nobody has to like everybody. Even God himself is not popular. Some people like Lucifer, illumination. They like Lucifer. Some people like him. That's okay. And he created the earth. So if the creator of the earth, he has people that get to choose who they follow. If they want to follow him, they don't understand, they don't believe even in him. If I did not meet God and meet Lucifer, that's another story. I will tell you guys that God doesn't. I wouldn't be able to say God exists, but I did by changing my lifestyle. God presented himself in Lucifer presented himself in but I chose God. Then Lucifer tortured me for making that decision, guys. I paid the price where I was rejected by people, rejected by members of my family because I couldn't. When I opened my mouth, what I was going through, I ended up with the social services in my house and the police and whatever you name it because they thought I was crazy. But when I actually decided to zip it, to take the bullying, the abuse from Lucifer sometimes, There were times, that's why I talk about authenticity. There were times, sometimes, that happens 2016 in bed. It went on for years. There were times where sometimes the pastors would call me, the pastors that will monitor me, they'll call me and say, Nomsa, you can't go and be around family. And I'll be, why? They'll be like, because we saw this. So meaning that he will hack a member of my family in order to blackmail me to join him. So in doing so, I had to stay, I had to hang out with my Christian people that read the Bible. So by my family, some of my family members, I couldn't explain to them what I was going through. But they judged me anyway. Some people, they were like creating stories, and I had to go through that. Some of you, you know that when you meet with Lucifer, it means death. It means it's put you on the cross of judgment. But my true authenticity of trusting my abilities, trusting God, and also having the courage to say, I don't know. Because at that moment, I had the courage to ask my pastor and say, listen, I don't know how to deal with this. Can you help me to deal with this? But my pastor didn't have it. So he knew some of it, but I had to find the pastors that have gone through Lucifer in order for them to coach me to become the person that I wanted to become. But I'm not just any pastor, because sometimes when you go through that, it means if you go to any, there are some pastors that are not really pastors. They are out there, like work like pastors there, but they are actually witch doctors, sangomas, or medium, you call it. They are not really pastors. So you guys know what I mean. They're not really pastors. If you have 10 pastors, it could be 2 pastors or 3 are real. The rest, they are not. And mostly everywhere now, everywhere, not just Africa, Europe, it happens. Because when you serve Lucifer, you have money. He provides for you. You become rich. So he provides. He's a wealthy pastor provider. There are some pastors who are genuine, really, really genuine. So I had to find those genuine people to help me to get to where I needed to be. And they dedicated their life. And that's when I realized that sometimes the family cannot hold your hand, because at that moment, the only person that was holding my hand was my mom. And everybody else, they had something to say what they thought about me, but they didn't know that Nomsa was facing death. So that's why I always encourage people. The power of authenticity is very, very important, to be authentic. And the understanding that every journey that you take, you are never alone. Never ever think that you're never alone. God will always connect you with somebody to help you. So, guys, I'm going to have to go now. If you want to connect with me for coaching, please go to my website, www.hseia.com, and register for coaching if you're interested in coaching. If you are interested in finding love, it's the same website, Hope Spring Eternal Introduction Agency. If you can't find me, my website is on every social media. You can go to my website and please get in touch with me. We have all different coaches from all walks of life. So whatever your situation might be, please do get in touch. For me, I go to MFM Church, guys. For those who knows Dr. Lukoya, you know that what we do is we all look into the foundation. When I'm doing the coaching, I just look at the whole foundation of your life. how it looks like. I look at it like your career. If you're looking for love, your career, how does your career look like? How does your life, why are you in that situation? Not in a place of blame, because sometimes the people they are in that situation because they don't believe that they are good enough, but they are good enough. So we get you to a place where you start telling people that I am good enough. When you go out, if I coach you, if I match you, you select the right guy for you. When you go out, if you don't like the guy, you are able to say, you know what, Nomsa, thank you for matching me with that guy, but it's not for me. You don't just date nobody for the sake of dating. You don't kiss nobody for the sake of kissing. When you come to Hope Spring Eternal Introduction for coaching, you get to pick and choose, because you'll be choosing the woman or the man that God created you to be with, not just any man. We are all extraordinary as an individual. So that is the kind of coaching that I do. I'm a psychologist, I'm a love harmonist, and if you are interested in boot camp, we do boot camp as well. If you are interested in boot camp, you can send me an email. So I've realized yesterday that these guys, they should have put a page where people can show interest. So I'm going to speak to them today. So if you are interested in coming to boot camp is in Europe, and we have some venues where we go in Africa. We travel all around the world. So whatever the world where you may be, we go for boot camp. You just have to look at what we do. If it's something that we like, and if you can afford service, please do show up. Show your interest. It's beautiful. It's very intense. Is I was raised by two men, and I'm an ex-professional footballer. I'm a psychologist. I'm a love harmonist. So you can imagine when you put all these professionals together, there's one thing that comes up that can help, that helps me. It's my mentality. It's not my psychology, but it is my mentality it's the mindset that carried me when I was on the pitch playing football. You get on the pitch, you have the team, but you have this person that you have to tackle. You have to take the ball and kick the ball. You're on your own. And it requires you to work hard. It requires you to be the person that you want to be. By doing that, it means you've got to practice. You've got to mentally, your mindset has to be in the right place. You say, want to go dating, got to understand your values, your beliefs. What do they mean to you? Why do you want to go out and meet this guy? Why do you want to go out and meet this woman? So that mentality is needed. And the mentality of self-love. Love myself because I'm worthy. I love myself because God created me to be. For me now that I came across with Lucifer and God chose me to save my soul from Lucifer when Lucifer put me on the cross. Now I can say, you know what? Even though you think I'm not good enough, but actually God chose to save me because I'm special to him. I didn't have to have high heels. I didn't have to be millionaire. I didn't have to. God just loves me for me. I don't have to put makeup in order for me to pray to God. I don't have to do that. So that keeps me going. So find something that can hold you, carry you through. If it's not a prayer, what is it? For me, it's a prayer. That is the mentality that I take when we are on the bootcamp. Okay, you are here. Want love. But love is not going to come to you if you don't understand your image, if you don't understand your character. If you're living the life like mother, like daughter, how we were raised by our own family. That's great. That's beautiful. But what's the identity that you've decided to carry through? Me, I was raised by my father, two fathers, two mothers, grandparents. But the identity that I chose to carry is that identity where my parents, they say, no, sir, be authentic. And I'm like, okay, authentic means I have to be me. That's the one that I'm carrying. Me, my authenticity. That's what I'm carrying you through. It carries me through. So when you come to the boot camp, we have all these different coaches that they go through life with you. They show you the power of manifestation, the power of loving yourself, the power of being authentic, the power. If you are a Christian, we don't leave anything out. If you are a Christian, I go to MFM. MFM, we pray 7 hours. I can speak to Lucifer now. If Lucifer comes in, I can tell him off. I know the words to say to tell him off and for him to get out and call the angel of God that I need. So all those things that I have learned. So whatever you need, we have it at Ngozi Talk Show. But if you want God, you have God at Ngozi Talk Show. Honestly, if you want Jesus himself, you have Jesus. I can't give you Jesus physically, but you can have him because he's always there. So you can connect with him. Although you're already connected to him, but without the knowledge. But when you come here to Ngozi Talk Show, the questions that I need to understand, what's your belief? If you are a Muslim, I'm afraid I can't help. But if you are a Christian, I can help. For a Muslim side or anything, I can help you based on psychology, everything. 99% of the things that we do in life is psychology. So I can help you based on that by getting rid of false belief that don't save you, the habit that don't save you, negative habit, implanting different habit to your foundation. So please, guys, subscribe to our channel on YouTube and on Facebook. We have a Ngozi Talk Show group. Please go join Ngozi Talk Show group so you can be part of our family. So you don't miss out on any videos. And unique, we have a group called the Unique Billionaire Mindset, and all those groups, they are on my page. You can join them and follow me on LinkedIn if you're watching me on LinkedIn. Follow LinkedIn or send me a message. If you just want a free consultation, please do get in touch with me. I always reply to everybody. And God bless everyone and live with grace.